Dash activate effects, search yourself a Poplar, then activate Poplar, summon up that Poplar, activate that Poplar.
What up guys, it's Cheapie, back with another video. It's 1 AM, so I'm pretty tired, but I wanted to show you this deck because I've built Snake Eyes post Banlist, and let's be honest, Snake Eyes got hit on the Banlist because we lost 2 bonfires and gained 1 Snake Eye Ash, and I'm not even playing the second Snake Eye Ash, so the deck got hit, but it's a lot of fun. Let's be honest, you're not taking Snake Eye to the YCS, even though you could, and it would be a lot of fun. But in general, like Snake Eye, pretty cool deck, and I wanted to show you my combos. So getting right into the deck profile, we're starting with all the starters, which are 1, 1, and 1. You could be playing more, you got them back, but we want to normal summon other things, which you will see right now. But we're also playing the bonfire and the 1-for-1. It's understandable that bonfire got hit, but man, it sucks for Snake Eye. Maybe the third Snake Eye would help because then you could normal summon it reliably and you're not relying on other normal summons. But for now, those are 5 Snake Eye starters. Then we got 6 Melodious starters. There was a brief period in time where Melodious Snake Eyes was like an actual deck, which also utilized Dire Bellstar, which was a great benefit for the deck. Of course, we're not having Dire Bellstar anymore, but we got other things in form of the Millennium monsters. So we got 6 Millennium monsters, and those are all basically combo. Of course, these 2 are a weak combo, but all of them are basically full combo. Like this is only like IP Fiendsmith setup if you don't open anything else, and for him you need any other card which you can send, but then he's full combo. So yeah, those are in the cards. The Poplar also works with Fiendsmith cards, so that's good. But in general, like these are all combo starters, and even though you're not really performing the 1-card combos, they're all capable of doing a 1-card combo. So I will show them to you for each card, except like the Snake Eye cards, but how you get into the combo with these, which is pretty simple, but it should be explained at least. So we're playing as engine requirements, the Temple, which is kind of a combo, but not really because you're missing a body, so it works if you have something else, but it's an engine requirement, like, let's be honest. Flamberge, you will open him, and then you can place him from hand, so that's nice. You will open her, and you can place her from hand, so that's nice. You will open it, and your Poplar cannot search, so that's nice. You need to play it for the refrain. It can't just summon itself, like, it's even worse than Mathmech Edition, I guess, so, yeah. Engine requirements, to be honest, 5 engine requirements isn't that bad, and we're playing, I believe, 42 cards, if I'm not mistaken. Could be -1 or 2. And we're playing 2 Engraver, Lacrima, Lurry, and Tract. You will open these 2 and you can place them from hand. So, we could be maybe cutting 1 Engraver, because at the end of the day, it's just there to make the end board even more powerful. You're not focusing on playing Fiendsmith cards, it's not a Fiendsmith deck. But you need those to make a reasonable end board with reasonable disruption, because we have cool synchro monsters which we can utilize, and also these make it possible that the Millennium cards are combo by themselves, which is really cool. And they also make it that Engraver plus Fuvalos is also combo, which of course you don't want to be doing, but it's possible. Yeah, so maybe you can make it even smaller, the package, but you need the Lacrima, so the Millenniums are combo. And if you're playing the Millenniums, you have more combo starters. Usually I played it with Kashtira before the Banlist, but then I had also 3 bonfires, and I could be playing Fiendsmith Kash if I don't open Snake Eye cards, which is also viable right now, but I really like the Millennium cards since there's less detonator, because people are less inclined to play it. Of course, the deck is still broken, like, Ryzia is a good deck, but I really enjoy the Millennium cards, so, and you will see after we use them. Then we got Bonfire, Bonfire, and Bonfire, or also 1-for-1, because this is the only reason why we play this card, so we have more starters, and like, after pushing with engine cards that are not Snake Eyes, pushing with Snake Eye cards by using 1-for-1 or Bonfire is really good. So this is the engine card. And since we're paying 4,000 life points with Millenniums, we need to be setting something off of it. Usually I wouldn't even consider the Imperm because like the endboard is strong enough, so you can justify having dead cards in your hand. But if you're paying 4,000 life points, you just need to be safe that you have at least some disruption. We're playing 1 talents. I would be playing more, but someone took it from me. And we're also playing Cold Buy because of Fuvalos. This is like the main reason for it. And also because of Fuvalos, we're playing Troll Lockbird. Luckily, Troll Lockbird is also good in the format right now. Like, it's a good card, and with Alliance Insight coming out, it's also a good card. But you just needed to draw yourself so you don't hard lose to Fuvalos. And speaking of hard losing to Fuvalos, we're also playing Ash Blossom. I would cut this card if it wasn't for Fuvalos. And with Stampede, everybody got his own playset of it, which is good for the game. But in general, like, you need to stop the card. So personally, I wouldn't even love to be playing it, and I will side out Ash Blossom most of the time for just Breaker, because the deck is really good at using Engine to break fields, and then you just want to have a Breaker to supplement it. But for game 1, you just need the Ash Blossom in case of going first. And speaking of Fuvalos, we're playing Fuvalos. So that's the non-engine. As you see, it's not like the old Snake Eyes where you have a ton of non-engine. You could be playing a little more, but you want to see engine at all costs. Like, you want to push with engine, and the deck is really good at it because it's kind of redundant. And the whole gimmick of the deck is having too many bodies for the things you're trying to accomplish, which is really good. It's kind of redundant, but at the same time, it makes OTKing so much easier, and it makes just pushing so much easier. So that's the main deck. Getting into the extra deck, we're playing the Melodious card. And then we're playing the requirements to be able to play off Melodious and Millennium. Like, you need those for Melodious, and you need those for Millennium combos. At first, I didn't really like this card all too much, because I felt like it was just not necessary. But having it as a possibility to start your combos, I now really enjoy it. Like, being able to start your combos is amazing, and I was wrong about this card, which I think was not justified at first. Like, if you're playing Cash and Fiendsmith cards, then you're not really playing a Snake Eye deck, so it doesn't come up all too often. But like, if you're just focusing on doing Snake Eye combo every time, then this card is just amazing. And having a 3k beatstick, which removes a body, sounds like Millennium, and it's just Vicious Astronaut, and this card is just broken. So, Fiendsmith cards, Moon and Requiem. We're playing something else instead of Desiree, Sequence, and all the good stuff to save some extra deck slots, which is Anima, Caroso, and Genix. It's the same amount of extra deck slots, but it's just more utility. Like, you need this also for the combo. I'm sorry, you need it also for the Millennium combo, so you're playing this either way, and then you just need those two. You maybe could be cutting the Anima and still make this combo. I will show it to you how you can do it. But in general, you need the Spellcaster to summon the Caroso. And you have Hita, you have Snake Eye Diabellstar. But sometimes you just want to make your level 1 into the Anima, so you can summon the Caroso, which is a level 4 Dark Tuner. Engraver is a level 6 monster. The Millennium Golem is a level 6 monster, so you can just summon the Genix. And if you're not familiar with what the Genix does, I would gladly advise you to get one copy for yourself, because it's a ticking time bomb. At some point in some meta, this card will be easy to summon and it's gonna be broken. Like, it's cool in Snake Eye, but it's just waiting for its time to shine. So if you're not familiar, it can banish any attribute from your graveyard to negate an opponent's monster effect with the same attribute, and it's once per attribute. So if you're able to fill your graveyard, like in Snake Eyes, you have Wind for the hand traps, you have Fire, Light, Dark always, and Earth with Cross Sheep. So the thing missing is kind of like water, so if you're playing against Merman or Crystalline, so be it. But in general, you're able to negate Nip, a Dark monster, a Fire monster, and an Earth monster, which is broken. It's kind of like Apollosa. Of course, if your opponent is playing mono attribute, then it's only one monster negate and destroy, but oh no, a negate and destroy. What a bad card. So, getting into the rest of the cards, which is just basic Snake Eye stuff, it's IP, SP. and Promethean Princess and 2 Firelings, which is Hita and Phoenix. This could and probably should be Raging Phoenix. I don't own one, even though it got reprinted. I just got myself to buy one. And so I still play the Phoenix, which is spell trap removal. And then we need 1 card for ATK, which is Boros Sword for me right now. It should be Celantis if this is Raging Phoenix, and then everything would be fine. Because then you're just saving the extra deck slot of the Raging Phoenix. But it could also be Access Code, but then I think Boros Sword with just Doom Dragon is better. Not by a lot, but in general, like, you just need any card for OTK. You can maybe also cut it completely, but in general, if you have Raging Phoenix Celantis, probably play this. Doesn't matter all too much, at least you need some utility. So, with the extra deck being concluded, I will show you how to get into your combos. Starting off with the Melodious cards, because they are just the easiest. We have Refrain, and we have Ostinato. Ostinato is by far the easiest, so we start with this, which is activate Ostinato, send 2 refrains from a deck for Baja, and Baja's unsummon effect will summon you a Melodious from deck. Funnily enough, if your opponent stops this because they're thinking you're playing Melodious, I guess, then you can just normal summon anything, link it off, and then summon out the refrain from the graveyard and still get off the effect, and then you still full combo. So if your opponent does not know what you're doing, which is pretty likely because you're playing Snake Eyes, then that's quite nice. But let's just assume you summon out the refrain from the deck. You can use its effect on summon to search, which searches the cannon, and then cannon can just summon itself. And then you can overlay into Flame Banshee. And since you have not used your normal summon, you can just search Snake Eye Ash, and then you can do a normal Snake Eye combo. For the sake of the video and for just the duration of the video, I will keep this one out, but you normal summon Snake Eye Ash and do a Snake Eye combo, which is like Promethean Princess setup, IP Masquerade setup, and in our case also the Gen X, so pretty basic stuff. I will explain it, but I will explain the Gen X, but not the Snake Eye Ash combo. If you're really struggling with it, maybe leave a comment or just try it for yourself for the first second. Like, at least think about it. And this is the Ostinato combo, and we're having Refrain. We will normal summon Refrain, search the cannon, summon the cannon, go into Banshee, Banshee search, but we already used the normal summon, so we cannot search Snake Ash, but we will search our Poplar, summon out the Poplar, activate your Poplar, and use the field spell. Field spell can place your Oak, and if your opponent said OK, you can make Crush Heap. Poplar will place the Banshee, doesn't really matter, but then you can summon the Doom Dragon, and Doom Dragon, since it's a fusion monster, will trigger Crush Heap. Crush Heap will summon out the Oak. Oak will summon out your Poplar. And then you can just go off from there because you get the Flamberge. You can do IP, Promethean Princess things, Fiends with things. Like, as mentioned, this general thing. You end on Promethean in the graveyard, IP setup, you end on a Gen X and a Flamberge. So, pretty good stuff. And now for the Millenniums, which are a little more convoluted, and let's be honest, you don't want to do the combo if you're not forced to do it, but it's a possible 1-card combo or like 1.5-card combo. So I can show you with either one of the Millenniums, they're doing the same thing, just in a different order. Let's just start with the Golem because it's probably a little harder, but not really. They're just doing the same thing. And any dead card, so we're doing Draw a Lockbird because it's a gold hand trap. Fun fact, it's also a spellcaster, so you can use it for the Magisters. But you need the Millennium and any monster, so we can use the Millennium effect to scale itself from the hand. Pay 2000 life points to summon itself and search, which searches you the Vetro Temple. Then you can activate the Vetro Temple to place a monster from hand, and place a Millennium from deck. And then you can activate Sang Engine, pay 2,000 again, so you're down at 4,000 life points. So you better be resolving all your cards if you're down to 4,000 life points, because you need to be winning the game in turn 2. Like, if your opponent cracks through it, he will probably OTK you, because 4,000 is not a lot. But Sang Engine can search a Millennium, and fun fact, if you didn't already know, the Sang Engine can search itself. And since it got scaled by the Vetro Temple, we can scale it by its own effect. So we can place it, and then we can do some Fiendsmith things, which is Moon of the Closed Sky into Requiem, and now we need the Lacrima because it's a level 4 body to summon itself out. Lacrima will send Engraver. Fun fact, because we scaled the spellcaster, it's really easy to combo because we can use the Magistus earlier, but for the sake, we scaled Cannon because she's really bad. So now we can use Engraver to revive itself by shuffling back the Moon, and we can summon out the Snake Eyes Doom Dragon, which is a fire monster. And we can use our fire monster to make a spellcaster, which is Hita. Which means we can also equip our Requiem from the graveyard to the Lacrima. And then we have a spellcaster and a Link monster. So we can send those off to summon the Magistus, which is a level 4 monster. And since then we can overlay it into the Banshee and use Banshee to finally search out Snake Ash. And since we have not normal summon, we can normal summon Snake Ash, search out your Poplar, summon out your Poplar, activate your Poplar, get your field spell, and then you can use a field spell, place the Snake Eye Diabellstar, and you're good to go. The only thing lacking, since you already went through the Corozo, is you're not able to summon out the Genex, which is not the best thing in the world, let's be honest. You could be solving this problem if you really want to. No, you couldn't solve this problem. You're not getting out your Genex if you use the Millenniums to start your combo. But as mentioned, it's really easy to supplement all these things. Like, you could have also opened Fuvalos to normal summon it to get into the Banshee, so you can keep the Corozo off for later and then do your combos the other way. Like, let's be honest here, you're not really playing one-card combos all the time. You're doing one-card combo starters and then switch your combos by having different pieces in your hand. But in general, like, I hope this showed off that it's possible to play the combo with just the Millennium cards, which is kind of cool. And then you have just a lot of starters, but in general, this is the deck. But last thing, since you've seen how the Corozo is summoned, it should be rather clear how to summon the Genex. And probably the best setup, or like the most common setup, is you will have an Engraver and any level 1 monster after the Flamberge, like Snake Ash, so it's left on the field. And then you can link it off for the Anima, and then you can equip the Requiem from the graveyard to the Engraver, summon them or link them off for the Corozo, and then you can summon the Genex. Same thing after you do Promethean Princess Lines to revive your Flamberge Dragon. You will link Promethean off into Hita, which is a spellcaster, and then you can do the same thing with Hita and the equipped Requiem to the Engraver. You get out your Corozo, you can summon out your Genex, and then you're good to go. So this concludes the video. Hope everything is understandable. It's a lot of fun. I can just recommend the deck, and if you want to have some really stupid side deck recommendation, you can also play Silhouette Rabbit and those things in the side deck, which is a thing I do, just so I have an even more insta-win deck going first. So it's not quite DP and Verte, but just to make a reference to it, like, you're playing 3 cards which are all not really bricks. This works on its own, and if you draw one of these, you just make the Silhouette Rabbit, which you side because you have no space in the main deck, to set this one, and then you have 2 Omni negates, which is really good. So if you're feeling a little spicy, try this package to side, or like if you have the space, main deck the Silhouette Rabbit, but you're not main decking 3 traps, like you're lost if you do so. But yeah, this concludes the video for all the people watching this long, and have a nice day, stay safe.